Manhattan City Commissioners have selected a citizen to fill the 5th commission seat vacated earlier this month by Wynn Butler. Jayme Minton, Support Services Director at Meadowlark, will fill that role following a 3-1 vote by the City Commission Tuesday night. Commissioner Karen McCullough was the lone opposing vote. Minton says she plans to seek clarity from city staff on key decisions like a possible sales tax question to support Parks and Rec initiatives and replenishing general fund balances.
Last week, the city put together a wonderful presentation requesting feedback on a potential sales tax ballot question. But we need more clarity. It's my understanding the proposed sales tax addition would alleviate almost $6 million annually from the general fund. And although suggestions were made, as a commission, I think we should expect the city to provide a more detailed plan for the use of those general fund dollars.
Minton has worked for 14 years at Meadowlark and has been a resident of Manhattan for 20 years. Her appointment came after failed motions last night to appoint former commissioners to the seat. McCullough motioned for Linda Morse's reappointment.
She's been very active in the social services. She's on the area agency board. She has been the lead vote getter in all the races that she has run. And she is the most conscientious commissioner, much more than I, in getting to things, in being involved in things.
That motion failed, though, 2-2, with McCullough and Mayor Susan Adamczyk supporting. John Matta and Peter Appel both opposed. Matta also motioned for Butler to be reappointed, but that motion ultimately failed 1-3. The Manhattan Commission last night also discussed several housing policy proposals. First, an industrial revenue bond proposal that will offer sales and property tax exemptions to rental housing developers in a proposed redevelopment zone, including both downtown and Aggieville. Commissioner Appel supports the redevelopment and the idea of getting more affordable housing in those highlighted areas.
I really like the IRB map for the tax abatement, though. I think it's a good kind of, it's a targeted area, but it's still pretty broad and not having to deal with the challenges of zoning. I think it's a good target for that.
The other item was a workforce housing sales tax proposal that will offer developers financial incentives. Workforce housing is defined locally as households making between 60 and 120% of the area median income. No action was taken last night. Commissioners are hoping to move forward, though, with workforce housing projects at upcoming city meetings. Officials with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers have temporarily closed the Stilling Basin at Tuttle Creek Lake for a pair of construction projects that will take place over the next few months. The first, a rock overlay project, will require work on the upstream side of the upper portion of the dam. Operations Manager Brian McNulty.
We only have 800 feet of that 7,500 feet of placement on the upstream side of the dam, so that's probably only 20 or 30 days worth of placement, and they should be finishing that part of the work up. And then they've got quite a bit of work in the downstream channel, not only placing rock, but they're also replacing some guardrail with some concrete barriers along both sides of the river channel.
The second construction project affecting the Stilling Basin is a gate liner repair project. 2 large steel liner plates immediately below the flood control gates in the tower will be replaced. McNulty says the first half of work was done prior to peak flood season.
They'll be coming back in late July, just as the first contract is getting done in that area, and they'll be closing all of those parking spots. That includes the fish cleaning station. They'll have crane work going on periodically, lowering and raising equipment down into the bottom of the conduit to take up on the job that they're doing there. So there'll be periodic closures even after that 2-month period when the crane's operating.
The first project expected to take about 3 to 4 months. The second project expected to be completed by the end of the year. Authorities say one person was injured Monday afternoon after a motorcycle crash near the Manhattan Regional Airport. According to the Riley County Police Department, 40-year-old Rosalind Lee of Dwight lost control while traveling along Wildcat Creek Road at around 4:30. Lee was transported by Riley County EMS to Via Christi with serious injuries. RCPD did not provide an update on her condition. Kansas State University was recently awarded $25 million in matching funds for their Agriculture Innovation Initiative. The university announced on Tuesday that the threshold set by the legislature for the 1-to-1 fundraising match was met earlier in the year, and the award was granted this month. So far, officials say $176 million of the $210 million goal has been raised to help improve infrastructure within the College of Agriculture. Dean Ernie Minton spoke recently with News Radio KMAN about the fundraising to date.
The state has really been a great partner. Our team at the K-State Foundation has been absolutely key, and of course the stakeholders and alumni who have contributed as well. We still have some more fundraising to do, but the construction of all of these projects and the renovations are anticipated to be largely completed by the summer of 2026, and so we have some time to shore up that gap, and we're very, very confident we'll get that done.
The university broke ground this month on the new Global Center for Grain and Food Innovation, which is the final piece of that initiative. And with the recent decision of Kenny Titus to run for state senate, there are now 2 Republicans who have announced their candidacy for that open seat. Eli Cormanick announced his candidacy last week to run in the 51st District. A lifelong resident of the county in Alta Vista, Cormanick graduated from Council Grove High School in nearby Morris County.
I have been kind of interested in politics even back since middle school. I graduated high school a couple years ago and had been looking how I could get involved. So I interned Congressman Mann out in D.C. this fall, and then I had the opportunity to work at the State House this spring. I really enjoyed that, and kind of when I saw that Penny was going to run for Senate, it seemed like a good opening.
Cormanick is the second to announce his candidacy after Megan Steele also announced her candidacy. We'll hear from her later this week.
Good morning, I'm Troy Coverdale with your sports headlines. A year after frustration took hold for K-State baseball when it was denied a spot in the NCAA tournament, the Cats are set to make their first postseason run since 2013, starting Friday. Pete Hughes said yesterday there were still some anxious moments waiting on the Monday announcement after the Cats went 1-2 at the Big 12 tournament last week on the heels of a loss to BYU that closed the regular season.
I just kept going to the body of work, to the strength of the schedule, to the intent of the schedule, hoping that would carry us, because we did play the most difficult schedule in league. We played one of the most difficult schedules out of conference and overall schedule. And I kept leaning on that for our body of work, and I was hoping the committee would do the same thing.
The Cats will match up with Louisiana Tech on Friday, game time at 7 in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Arkansas meets SEMO in Game 1 of the regional that day at 2 o'clock. Simeon Woods Richardson earned his first win in 8 starts. Jose Miranda knocked in a pair, and the Twins dropped the Royals 4-2. Kansas City had just 5 hits on the night in dropping a third straight on the heels of an 8-game winning streak. Cole Reagans struggled early for Kansas City, but did get through 5 innings, allowing 9 hits while striking out 7. Seth Lugo, who leads the American League in wins and all of baseball in ERA, is scheduled to start tonight for the Royals. He's scheduled to face right-hander Bailey Ober for the Twins. Coverage getting underway at 6 on News Radio KMAN. Karl Anthony Towns scored 20 of his 25 in the second half. Minnesota held off Dallas 105-100 to avoid a sweep in the NBA's Western Conference Finals. Have a great day. I'm Troy Coverdale.